81m50。
Okay. Yoshiki Kinjo, head coach from Japan. After the first period, very successful, you make a small break and then comebacks very good in China. What did you do in between?
Yeah. So we are back to Japan after Pirach. Then we could bit rest. Then athletes mental also so refresh. Then we are compete China. Then athlete technique, jumping technique also doing good. The staff, coaches also refresh brain. Then yeah, good work. Good work.
Okay, now you're back in Japan in the homeland, so it's always very special. What are your goals for the World Cup here in Sao and Sapporo, and what are your goals for the Olympic Games?
So yeah, we want to podium. So for sure, Nozomi got podium few times, but so other athletes, for example, Sara Takanashi, Yukito Seto Yuka, yeah, other athletes also get a podium. Then next Olympic game also we want to take medal.
Okay, wish you a good success and luck for the World Cups and the Olympics.
Yeah, thank you so much.
ありがとう。
ありがとうございます。
Abigail straight from Canada, returning to the World Cup after missing out in Lubno and China. What was your focus on these days?
Just really trying to find the best jumps I possibly could. Had some good ones in Oberstdorf, and Villach wasn't far away, but trying to build some consistency and have the best ones more and more often.
Abigail, you have been already on the podium here in Sao with the super team. How important is the team for your success?
The team is super important. I was already thinking about 2 years ago here when Ali and I got the second in the super team, and yeah, it's a really fun event. I know Canada specifically is hoping for more of those super teams where we get chances at medals like that. So yeah, unfortunately missing Ali here today, but she's with us in spirit and she'll be back.
Okay, thank you and good luck for the competitions.
Thank you.
してオフィシャルトレーニングとはいえこの6人もとっても楽しみですね。
本当そうですね。でここまでのトップが伊藤有希選手ので、
さあこの後の6人がまずはアミエル・スライツ選手からだね。
そうですね。
はい、セリーヌ・フライタードイツ、アンナ・オリル・シュトロームノルウェー、そしてトップ3レイザー・ヘーラー、マリアム・ノゾミ、イカ・プレブスト。
それでは再開します。ビブナンバー45アビゲイル・ストレイトカナダ。
ビブナンバー45アビゲイル・ストレイトカナダ。
確認
84メーター。
84 meters。
スタートゲートがコーチリクエストにより25番ゲートに変わります。
Coach requested start gate has changed to 25.
Joseph Uri, I have another coach request, gate number 47, gate 25.
Hello and welcome to Zhao, Japan. We are still in the middle of the trial round. So the training has been delayed all day due to weather conditions. So we're dealing with snow, we're dealing with wind, and we're almost done with the trial round. We're going to be seeing a full field competing in the first round of competition. And right now that is Selina Freitag on the hill. She had a gate request down to gate 25. Currently, the long jump of the day has been 97 meters from Yuki Ito, coming out of gate 29. So that's your reference point for now. But again, this is just the trial round, or the first official training jumps the women will get, and from there it's right into the first round of World Cup competition. So as you can see, the athletes look to be a bit tired. It's been a long day already, but the competition hasn't even started. The hill crew is hard at work, and we're excited for the competition to come. So stay tuned. We are set for a 20 minutes past the hour start time wherever you are in the world. So looking forward to having you back here when it matters. But if you're here already, enjoy the rest of the official training jumps and get ready for the competition.
ビブナンバー47アンナ・オリネストのノーウェイ。
ビブナンバー47アンナ・オリル・シュトロームノルウェー。
And if you are more successful with the technical training,
93メーター。
93 meters.
ここでアナウディーン・ストローントップに立ちました。コーチリクエストにより引き続きスタートゲートは25番ゲートで行います。ビブナンバー48リサ・エダーオーストリア。
Bib number 48, Lisa Eder, Austria.
75メーター50。
75.5 meters.
Now we are into the last athletes of the official training, and we have seen all kinds of show today. So that was just Lisa Eder with a jump of 75.5. You could see coming out very off balance in the middle of the flight. She's made the decision to come out of gate 25. And now we're on to the final two jumpers. Long jump of the day was that 93 or 97 meters actually from Yuki Ito from gate 29. But we just saw bib number 47, Anna Udina Strum from Norway with a strong 93 meter effort. So that will probably be a mark to beat. But as you know, this is official training. That means that there are no judges' points. The athletes are just getting the feel for the hill. Of course, they know the judges are watching. So it is important to kind of remind them of your good style just so that they have that in their subconscious going into the competition. And speaking of competition, it's great to see Atsuko Tanaka from Canada up there on the hill. We see her right there to the left. So she's helping out the crew here, came in from Canada, and it's always great to have her so closely connected with the Japanese competitions, as well as back home in Canada where she started working on the development program there. So great efforts from the former Canadian ski jumper. Second to last to go in the official training, here we have Nozomi Maruyama with a great looking jump. That was a distance of 96.5 meters. And you know Nozomi is ready for action, gearing up for the Olympic Games. We heard from her coach before, and they're definitely looking for a podium at the Games. But for now, it's time to get back to the changing rooms and get your competition suit on. Usually you don't jump in training with your best suits, so since this is not a qualification jump, they're able to use not their best suits and then save those for the competition. Let's see what's going on now with our final jumper. This is, of course, Nika Preutz. And she looks to also be coming from gate 25. So we're seeing gate 25 for Anna Udina Strum, Nozomi Maruyama, and now Nika Preutz. Here she comes. Let's see what she can do in Zhao. A little off balance and not the typical showing from Nika. But of course, 20 years old, doesn't have as many jumps on this hill as, for example, Anna Udina Strum or Yuki Ito. Still a decent effort, 83.5. And I'll be very interested to see how athletes like Nika Preutz and some of the other athletes who struggled a bit more than expected. We're also looking at Selina Freitag really not having the best jump at 74 meters. Frida Viessmann at 70. Who else do we have back there? Lisa Ader, 75.5. So again, these are top level athletes, so they're just getting a feel for the hill. Then they're going to turn it on for real in this first round of competition. Again, it's been a long day, so we're excited to see what happens now. There you can see Nika in obviously a bit of a hurry, making sure she has time to get changed, get sorted, and get ready for the first round of competition. The official notice, we should be getting underway in 7 minutes. So wherever you are in the world, I'm not going to try to do all of the time conversions for you because it's a little complicated. But 7 minutes to go for the first round. This is Nina Lucy joining you in Zhao.
FIS 女子スキージャンプワールドカップ2026蔵王大会競技開始を前にジュリーメンバーの紹介いたします。レースディレクター吉田千佳 FIS
Race Director Chika Yoshida FIS
技術代表リール通系アメリカ
Technical Deputy
Hello and welcome to Zhao, Japan. We are moments away from the start of the first round of the normal hill competition, part of the Viessmann FIS Ski Jumping World Cup. It's been a long day for the ladies already, but they are gearing up for an exciting competition. Now this is a hill size 102K95, so slightly smaller hill, but the ladies have been adjusting quite well to these changes. Remember, after New Year's and after the 2 nights tour, they went to Villach and Lubno, 2 of the smallest hills, before then moving on to Zhangjiakou, China last weekend, where they were again back on a large hill. Now they got 1 training jump, no qualification, 1 training jump, and the full field is advancing into the first round today. So it's good news for us back home. We're going to be seeing all 50 competitors guaranteed a spot in the first round. And again, that is set to go in 3 minutes. So thank you for all of you who have stayed loyal all morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. We just finished up the first round of training and conditions seem to have stabilized. We're not seeing a lot of snow coming down yet. But of course, Zhao, famous for the snow, and luckily they have a really great hill crew here. They are always actively working with the snow blowers, making sure the leaf blowers to keep the snow out of the track. So there you can see on the screen the shiny ice. So that is this modern track system where there's a refrigeration system and ice right under the athlete's feet within an artificial track. So it's a great system, very effective, and good for all conditions. So hopefully that means today will also be a great competition. Now, in the qualification or in the first round of training, again, only one jump on this hill. We saw ups and downs from a few different athletes. Nice to be welcoming back, I will say, Kurumi Ichinoue. She'll be starting at bib number 6. She started on the World Cup team, but then I think was traded out, but now back in Japan. They're able to take advantage of that national quota. And again, we have 2 competitions here in Zao and then 2 more in Sapporo. So it'll be interesting how they strategize, the Japanese team strategizes as to when to use the national quota. Of course, today will be the day. And in the past, we're used to starting in Sapporo before moving to Zao. So this is a bit of a change for us. I would say this Asia tour has been something special. China was also quite windy. There we were dealing with a lot of headwind in the modern flight curve, which some athletes found challenging. This is more, I wouldn't say old style, but it definitely pulls different athletes to the bottom of the hill. Speaking of the bottom of the hill record here is an incredible 106 meters held by Sara Takanashi. That was set in the year 2016. So the women have been returning here every year, but still that hill record has held fast. So as far as my calculations go, we should be ready to start any second now. You see bib number 1 up there, ready to move out onto the bar, just waiting for the green light, or the yellow light rather. Okay, jury decision, start gate number 27. We saw a few different starting positions in that first round of training. Anything from gate 29 to gate 25. So here we're starting right in the middle. And again, I would definitely keep an eye out for Kurumi Ichinoue, bib number 6. Who was strong in the first round, and she'll hopefully be able to take advantage of this opportunity to compete here in Japan. I had the pleasure of competing here in Zao, and it is really great. 7 meters per... I'm just going to pause there. Look at 7 meters per second of headwind. I swear, the wind gods realized it was time to start the competition, and they said, we're going to keep it interesting today. So if you were hoping for smooth sailing, I guess please keep hoping, but this might be a turbulent competition here. We're seeing that crosswind, so the wind moving across the hill, not necessarily beneficial. And the wind points sometimes get a little mixed up. It's obviously more clear if the wind is moving directly up or down the hill as far as compensation is concerned. But we'll have to wait and see. The bib number 1 now has a blanket around her shoulders. That is Riko Iwasaki. So again, Riko, exciting to be taking advantage of this opportunity to jump in Japan, part of the national quota. And here we go, up at gate 27 now, and first to come in today's World Cup competition. The light is green, and that means it's time to go. So starting us off here in Zao, this will be Riko Iwasaki. Smooth direction, but not enough power on the takeoff. As you can see, not really getting the height over the knoll that she needed. A little late on the timing in here. Not a whole lot of movement, but again, not the distance she was looking for. That is 69 meters, and of course now the mark to beat. But look at that, minus 1.6 points for wind compensation. We just saw 7 meters per second. So I'm not sure. I think luck will definitely play a role today. Next to come, another Japanese athlete. Will have 6 in a row now, so get excited for that. This is Nagomi Nakayama. Aggressive, you could see her head position really trying to get out over her skis. Gave her a few extra meters there, 72.5. And it's always fun to get to know this next generation of Japanese athletes. We only get to see them once a year here in January in Japan. Then they keep training, obviously working hard, and then hoping to see them when they join that World Cup team competing all across Europe and hopefully the US again soon. All right, here we go. This is a 20-year-old Yu Saito. To beat 73.5 meters. And a decent effort there, but not the distance that she needed. 64 meters. And remember, the athletes at the beginning of the round, the ranking is actually quite random because it's dependent on World Cup points. If you don't have any yet, you just get put into a random generator. It decides the order for you, so this is not based on ranking or anything. But we're excited to have a new name on the World Cup. That is Yu Saito, and she's moved into 3rd place. And as you can see, you can probably hear the people cheering down at the bottom. They are dedicated ski jumping fans, and we're so lucky to have them. Here comes Riko Sakurai. Riko with the long jump that we've seen today, 74.5 meters. Here you can see getting a bit more effect on the takeoff, getting the surface area, keeping her skis flat. And another little thing, minus 6.8 points of wind compensation, so she did have a little bit more help from the headwind, and that's where you see her moving into 2nd place for the moment. So again, 50 competitors in this first round. We'll see 30 moving into the 2nd round. Next up is Haruka Iwasa. We know her from the World Cup. She's not part of this young generation. I mean, she's still young, but she's not part of the unknown jumpers anymore. Haruka with a jump of 71 meters. Missed the timing, and unfortunately, I don't think that will be enough to see her through to the final. 71 meters, and that puts her into 3rd place. So here's the girl, or the woman that I've been waiting for. I got to know her at the Junior World Championships, and she was quite successful. Got to start the season on the World Cup team, but then went back to Japan for some training, some competitions on home snow. Let's see what she can do today. 21 years old from Japan. Here comes Kurumi Ichinoi. Effective takeoff and a solid jump for Kurumi. Remember, this is 2 gates down than where she came out of in the training jump, and still a very great distance of 86 meters. So that, I hate to say it, but that is a class above the rest of what we've seen so far. But again, we did expect her to be up there. And a big thank you to the camera and to the fans. She is an absolute delight to have on the World Cup, and we hope she's able to re-qualify her spot. From Japan, we move on to Kazakhstan. Here comes 17-year-old Alyona Svirenko. Aggressive, but flying behind the skis. So there you can see she was trying to put a lot of power into that jump, but that was not it. 62 meters, and that will move her into 7th place for now. Next up from Slovakia, here comes Tamara Mesikova, 19 years old. She's had some great results already this season. A new name us, but very confident. Look at that. We saw some movement there in the air, unfortunately coming down at 72 meters. So again, second place right now had a jump of 72.5. So it really comes down to the wind compensation points. Scores coming in. And we're seeing minus 5.6 for the wind, and that's what separates right now second and fifth. Next up from France, here comes Emma Chervet, aggressive and over the skis. That's more like it, and I'm hoping to get to see Emma Chervet into the finals, or into the final round rather. You can see late on the timing, but so confident there in the air. And you might think she got a lot of headwind help, but I'm only seeing minus 3.9 for wind compensation. And that is a second place for now for Emma Chervet. Emma, part of that two-man French team. From France, we move on to the United States. 4 athletes here. These have been the consistent World Cup competitors. Sandra doing a great job scoring points in Falun already this season, and we're excited to see what she can do. Here she comes from the US, Sandra Sprock. Solid telemark, not quite the distance we were looking for, 75.5 meters. Late on the timing, looked like she was still kind of struggling a bit to find her proper in-run position. And remember, Sandra is one of the athletes who doesn't have the years of experience, who knows this hill from years past, so she really got one jump and now it's time for the World Cup. Anyway, puts her in third for now. We'll see how long she can hold on to that. Now we're into the category of athletes who all have scored World Cup points already this year. Next to come, this is the German Emily Tarazza. Emily with a jump of 81 meters, matching the distance of Emma Chervet from France, who's currently sitting in second place. Some support from the wind there, minus 7.2 points of wind compensation. And that puts Tarazza behind Chervet in third place for now. Kurumi Ichinoa, of course, still leading the charge with that 86-meter jump. The light is green, and here she comes from Poland. This is Pola Beltowska. You could tell she was trying to do something different on that jump, coming down at 65 meters. If you catch the replay, watch how she comes in kind of a high position, but tries to stay over her feet there on the in-run. But unfortunately not getting that connection that she needed. Pola Beltowska into 11th place. All right, good that she got her goggles. I was a little worried about that. Here we go. So remember, she had an incredible result already this season. First World Cup points and a top finish for her. 16 years old, from Slovakia, Kira Maria Kapustikova. You can see also a little off balance there, coming in at 76 meters. Almost getting a little bit ahead of herself. Let's watch this takeoff. So moving a little bit, shifting her weight, and then having to straighten it out in the flight. That'll put Kira into 4th place for now. Again, we've seen 13 athletes already, and we'll see 30 in the final, 50 athletes in this first round. So we are still having to stay patient and wait for our first qualified athletes. All right, here we go. Back on the World Cup now. This is from Finland, Julia Kikkonen. Ooh, good looking jump for Kikkonen. We missed her for a little bit, but there she came back strong.
80 meters.
You can see battling a little bit with the wind. Not reflected in the wind compensation, but there she had some height, had to pull out a little early, but dedicated to the telemark. Kikkonen with an 80-meter jump into second place, still 9.2 points behind Kurumi.
Bib number 15 Martina Zaritza イタリア
Bib number 15, Martina Zaritza, Italy.
We're seeing the coach's flag there. That's Harry Rodlauer. You can see the wind is definitely cooking over the knoll. I feel like we're not seeing it reflected in the wind compensation points, but as you can see in the air, the athletes have been a bit off balance. And there, now you can see the graphics, so that's where that's coming from. The tailwind at the bottom of the hill negating some of those deductions. But here we go. On the hill now from Italy, Martina Zaritza. Now, I've really enjoyed watching the development of this athlete. 20 years old. That was a distance of 75 meters. Late on the timing, but in the second half, she's really able to fly over her skis. Hard to see from this angle, but let's see where that puts her now. So into 6th place, so that might be not enough to qualify for the final. They're getting a look at the wind meter, and again, it's rather wild. We saw like 7 meters per second. Now we're seeing it's totally switching. And the thing is, so Miran Tepish is over there controlling the light. So once he decides the wind is within the corridor, then he switches the light to green, and within that time, the coach has 10 seconds to flag the athlete and for them to get off the bar. However, what we just saw is within 10 seconds, a lot can change. And even from the moment that the coach flags the athlete to the moment they're actually in the air, you can see change there too. So they're controlling it as best as they can, but luck will definitely play a role in such variable conditions. Coach Yuri Tepish there holding the flag now. Okay, the light is green, and we're ready for the young 16-year-old from Slovenia, having a great season so far. This is Taya Terbosek. Ooh, that was too much. Taya, of course, joining the World Cup in her hometown of Lubno, and she started with an absolute bang. She had some really strong finishes in the training jumps, but unfortunately Taya was hoping to come to Japan and show us her best. That was unfortunately not it. That said, she will have time to regroup with her coach and figure out what she needs to change for tomorrow. Again, when I'm talking about the athletes who are so experienced, who have been traveling on the circuit for so many years, coming to Zhao and only having one training jump maybe won't affect them as much because they already have their ideas of how and what works on this hill. Taya, on the other hand, it's her first time here. It's probably her first time, traveling so far to compete. So she also probably doesn't have as much experience with jet lag, with how to move your body, and it can be a bit overwhelming. So we're hoping she can figure it out, and I'm sure that she's now in for the Japan circuit. So that means these 2 competitions in Zhao and then 2 more in Sapporo. And as you can see, athletes continuing to move their way up the hill. They get changed and the cabins are at the bottom, and then move up the hill. There's a warming hut up there, and then they get ready to jump. So right now, looking at France on the bar, we have Emma Chervet in a strong 3rd place right now with an 81-meter jump. But as you can see, that to beat distance is only 80 meters. whereas Kurumi, your current leader, went 86, so that means there's quite a bit of tailwind, which hopefully it turns around now. Light is green, so that means it's time to go. So as you can see, your coach held her for a little bit, waiting for ideal conditions. Here she comes from France, Josephine Panier. And Josephine, I thought we were dealing with tailwind. I don't know. That was a distance of 88 meters. I'm seeing plus 1.8 points of wind compensation. Great. We'll take it. Josephine really strong in the air. We haven't seen quite her best yet this season, but I think she'll be quite pleased with that. Let's get her reaction now. Not much of a reaction, but first place nonetheless. And that looks like an 8.6 lead over Kurumi Ichinoe. So good job for Josephine. Next to come, this will be Germany's Anna Holland. Formerly Ruprecht, 29 years old, also has quite a bit of experience here in Zhao. Let's see what she can do. From Germany, this is Anna Holland. Strong takeoff and a nice looking ride for the German. And she is really happy with that, and that's really nice to see. 1 meter short of Panier, coming in at 87 meters. However, getting that minus 7.3 deduction for the wind compensation, but it doesn't matter. She's happy with that one. Puts her into third, and we hope to see her in the final round. Now, when I look at the top four now, these are all experienced athletes. Josephine Panier, Kurumi Ichinoe, Anna Holland, Julia Kikkonen. Next one is also one who's had a few competitions here. This is Nicole Maurer. Good takeoff and has the height. Nice looking jump. We heard from her teammate Abby Strait before. Abby said she's really missing that super team competition. It would have been really great to see Nicole and Abby flying and fighting together. Nicole with a jump of 85 meters, and that'll put her into 5th place for now. That, of course, is Nozomi Maruyama. She'll be second to last to come, and we're hoping to see a good jump for her. All right, we're moving on to bib number 20 now. This will be Yuzuki Sato from Japan. Yuzuki has been on the World Cup now, most recently part of that Japanese national team squad. The light is green. So let's see, here she comes from Japan, 18-year-old Yuzuki Sato. Nice looking jump for Yuzuki. She's a very light athlete, and once she gets the takeoff and gets the rotation, is able to fly over her skis, that's when it really starts to connect for her. To me, she's still hanging a bit behind her skis, but she doesn't force the rotation, which is what makes it still able to work. 85 meters for Yuzuki, and that'll put her into 4th place for now. All right, here we go. Moving on to the next young Slovenian. And I spoke too soon. She has a red light, so she's moving off the bar now. She'll be waiting for the green light, and her coach there, Yuri Tepish, obviously keeping a good eye on the wind. And if his athletes don't get good wind, he has probably a few words to share with his father's the one operating the lights. That's Miran Tepish. So this is a big ski jumping family. And of course, I know Miran is watching the wind, not looking at the start list, so he's not going to be playing favorites, but I'm sure that's another interesting dynamic.
斉藤優選手
Alright, and she's coming back onto the bar now. This is Maja Kovacic from Slovenia.
リードバックナンバープラスの 1.8 です
Alright, we're looking at the Tibet distance.
再開します
89 meters.
ビブナンバー
Long jump right now, 88 meters by Josephine Panier. As that Tibet line moves its way up the hill, that means conditions are worsening. But again, hard to say what's going on today. Looks like she's trying to stay warm out there, and she has the green light, so 10 seconds to go for the flag. And here she comes. The line to beat 90.5. Conditions are good. Here comes Maja Kovacic. Maja doing her best out there, 80.5 meters. We're looking at minus 2.9 points of wind compensation, so nothing too extreme. Maja, 19 years old, but her first big real season on the World Cup where she's been a consistent starter, consistently scoring points. So she's another one that probably doesn't have much experience or any in
ビブナ
Zao.
ンバー22倉賀
And we are seeing our first qualified athlete. So from now on,
22
I'll keep you updated who is qualified. Right now, Josephine Panier in the lead qualified, and Kurumi Ichinoe next to make it through. Now here's an athlete who has definitely been interesting. She's had highs and lows already this season. In Changjaku, we saw her get pulled. The conditions were quite windy. She struggled a bit with the right ski ever since the competition in Germany on the large hill, where she lost control a little bit. And the tough thing about the World Cup is you're going stop to stop, and as you can see, the calendar is so dense this year, which is really quite an advantage, of course. It gives the women opportunity, although with the reduced prize money compared to the men, if they have more competitions, that does make it slightly easier to make a living if you're the best in the world. But even so, we'll have to see. But yeah, it doesn't leave much time for training in between competitions. So if you're having some technical errors that need to be ironed out, for example, like Clara, her coach is then continuing on the circuit, so either she goes home, leaves out some World Cups and trains with somebody else, or she just has to take every single jump as an opportunity to improve. So every official training, every qualification, and hopefully she makes it through, because the other option is you commit to the World Cup weekend, you have official training, qualification, you don't get into the top 40, so then you have to wait for Saturday, and you get one more chance on Sunday in the trial/qualification round, and then that could be the whole weekend. So it's definitely challenging, but I'm interested to see what she can show us, because she's been has shown us some really strong jumps this year.
6時からになりました平日にもかかわらず多くの皆さんにお越しいただいてますのでありがとうございます
So that's interesting. It looks like Abby Strait is at the top of the hill now. She has her phone, or a phone, so I think she's taking the time. She went to the cabin, grabbed her competition suit, then went up the hill before really doing the in-depth video analysis, and now that she has a little bit of waiting time, is actually doing that at the top of the hill. So again, you have to be flexible in conditions and days like today. Back on the bar now and back to the action. This is bib number 22. The light is green, that means it's go time. Here we go. From Czechia, this is Klara Orikova. And it worked! Great looking jump for Clara. You know, she struggled with that right ski. We saw it lagging a little bit off the takeoff. Watch this. So her right. But she continues on, doesn't care, and then it comes back up. And in that time, she's just continued to make speed. And a great jump for Clara. That was definitely a step in the right direction. 89 meters and puts her into 4th place. That said, by far the greatest wind deductions we've seen, minus 13.6. So with that, Kurumi Ichinoa qualifies, and next to make it in is Anna Holland, Clara Orikova, and Yuzuki Sato in that order. Canadian Nicole is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out. And I think it'll be a little much for Sandra today. Speaking of Sandra, we have 2 Americans right together now. This will be Josie and Paige. Interested to see how this goes. All right, here we go. She's on the bar now. The U.S. team having the best results we've seen from the women in quite a few years, so it's really nice to see this whole package deal, have them all improving competition after competition, doing it together. That really speaks to the quality of the team, and I'm sure they're excited to be in Japan. It's always a great experience. Still waiting on the green light now. So that could get her to 60 seconds, and it does. So that brings her off the bar now. She's going to have to wait 3 seconds. And I'm sure you were looking to see Trevor Edlund up there on the coach's stand. It could be down the hill now and traded spots with their new team member. So that's Collie from Norway. Joined the team this year as an assistant coach, and I know that the women have really been itching for that, in this Norwegian America collaboration still going strong. So they're excited, especially on days like today. It's so important to have minimum 2 coaches, where you can have one on the coach's stand, but one lower down the hill, probably on top of the judges' tower, reporting on how the wind is at the bottom. So they're working together and working for their best of their team. Here we go from the U.S., Josie Johnson. Nice takeoff, smooth, and it looked like she was continuing the flight. Oh. Okay, looking at the judges' points, I don't think they caught that, which is lucky. 79.5 meters. I'm excited to see, obviously we're in Zao, but I'm very excited to see Josie flying in Sapporo. That's a hill we're especially keeping that really direct line and keeping the speed for the second half. That will be really important. Josie, in the meanwhile, into 10th place, moving Anna Holland into the second round. Next American is at the top now. Josie Johnson had minus 0.3 points of wind compensation, so either it evened out or there's not much out there for her. You can see the wind and the snow kind of circling around. So right now, Paige Jones is trying to stay warm up there, making sure she remembers what she's trying to do on that jump. She has to wait for the yellow light to move out into the bar. Athletes in the warming area now are much better off. They can stay warm and, like we saw from Abby, have a chance to think about what they're going to do before heading out into the cold night. So looking at the standings on the left of your screen now, the top 3 are qualified. So Orihova the next in line, followed by Sato and Kikkonen. And we've seen, really tight competition, so unlike in previous years where the world ranking was pretty stable, we're seeing big ups and downs, so I think there's still plenty of potential there. It looks like Paige had the chance to take her skis off, but now quickly getting ready again. Hopefully not too rushed. Wind blowers are at work. Snow leaf blowers, whatever you want to call them. And speaking of, there was one incident on the Men's World Cup last week or 2 weeks ago where the American Jason Colby was actually in the track and he hit one of the leaf blowers. So that is not what you want. They didn't move them out of the way at the right time. Of course, for speed purposes, you want them to blow as long as possible, but if you're in your in-run and you hit one of those, that totally disrupts not only your focus but your balance and everything. The coaches filed a petition and he had the chance to get a re-jump but had to hurry back to the top of the hill. And yeah, so we're definitely not hoping for that, but that is, I guess, one of the potential risks that can happen. Wind flags seem to be continuing to move at quite a pace there. It's interesting because the compensation isn't really reflecting how challenging the conditions are. The ski jumping fans quite dedicated. There you can see on the right hand of your screen, some Norwegian fans made it over here. And there's the noise team there. They are in full force. Young and old fans gathered here in Zhao. This is actually right next to a ski resort, so when you arrive, you walk across the ski slope. But no time to talk about skiing. It's back to ski jumping and back to the athlete on the bar now. To beat 97 meters, so that means there's good air out there. Paige is a really strong athlete. She gets the takeoff right. That'll give her the height she needs for the second half of the flight. But as you can see, the wind in the upper left is red, so that means it's outside the corridor, so no chance. Back off the bar for Jones, and this is starting to get a bit frustrating for her. In this time, you're not allowed to touch your equipment, you can't make any adjustments, and that looked to be an offer of a blanket from Atsuko Tanaka, former Canadian jumper, now up there enjoying a long day at the office. She offered Jones a blanket, but I think Paige said, "I'm already cold." It's too late at this point. All right, here we go. The light is green, and here she comes after a long wait on the bar. This is Paige Jones. Turbulent conditions out there, let me tell you that. But Paige doing a great job of mastering that with a 84.5 meter jump. Here you can see, really just trying to make the most of it. And let's see where that puts her. Into 6th place, so that means 2 out from qualifying. Still a great chance of seeing her in the final round. But now it's time to get warmed up. She has been out there for a while. The next athlete obviously has been dealing with a similar situation. Once you pass through equipment control at the top, you're kind of locked in. So even if there are delays, you are also not able to adjust your equipment or do anything, which definitely is an added challenge. As you can see, plenty of athletes left to come in this first round. So yeah, we're only halfway through the first round of competition, almost exactly. 24 athletes at the bottom. Josephine Pagnier from France still in the lead with that 88-meter jump. And next athlete is on the bar. Yuri Tepish there holding her, but it looks like the light just turned green. Let's see what she can find out there in the air. Here comes Katra Komar from Slovenia. Aggressive and a big looking jump for Katra. 91.5. So that is the longest jump we've seen today. To be honest, off of the takeoff, I didn't think that she had it. But there, in the middle of the flight, she really caught some air. Oh. So, just wait till you see the points here. Minus 18.2 points of wind compensation. So, yeah, definitely caught the air. Despite the long jump, that'll put her in 5th place. So, still qualified, the last qualified athlete right now. Meaning Sato and Jones still waiting in the wings. But at least they get to do it in the comfort of their own cabin right now. All right, the lone Swiss athlete in today's competition to be 89 meters. Let's see what she can do from Switzerland, Sina Arnett. Ooh. Hard to say what was going on out there. She looks to have worked on her in-run. Very, very low compact in-run position. Looks to be a good move, but not quite getting the effect. Sina with a jump of 77 meters. And that is good news for the American Paige Jones, who has just qualified herself. And it looks to me that we're having a did not start for Annika Belshaw. Belshaw also didn't jump in the training round, so I'm not sure whether that's an equipment issue or what's going on. But nonetheless, moving on to Anna Svardash. Looked like Anna was catching some headwind out there too, coming down at 82.5 meters.
82.5 meters.
Anna moving into 8th place, so she'll be happy to be qualified. And there's the Lone Ranger, the last to come in today's competition. Next to come, this is the Norwegian Nordic Combined star turned ski jumper and having a great season so far. Here she comes, Gita Vestfold Hansen. Nice jump. And Gita also falling into the category of an athlete who probably has not had the experience on this hill that most of the field has.
5 meters.
So update from Belshaw. She didn't start today. She got a little bit of food poisoning, had an upset stomach this morning, and we'll save her energy for tomorrow. So that's good news for the fans back home. And we're excited to see her back on the hill. In the meanwhile, Paige Jones continuing to make progress in the rankings. Now, Nicole Maurer from Canada, 1 out from qualifying. Good looking jump and a lot of height. Hey, great effort for Sif. She struggled a bit in China, but came through with a great jump there, 91.5 meters, matching the distance we saw from Komar, but only minus 2.6 wind compensation points. So that is great news for the Italian. And she'll be pleased with that first round. What a day it's been here. You know, lots of delays, that crazy qualification or crazy one training jump and then into the competition, rushing around, waiting, and then kind of everything all at once. Next athlete is the Swedish Frida Viessmann. Frida, as we're used to, is getting a coach's request. Didn't quite work out in the training jump, but here we go. Okay, Frida Viessmann, so she's coming down 2 gates to 25. Coach's request, so she needs 95% of hill size. We haven't seen jumps of that distance yet, but let's see what she can do here in Zhao. Swedish Frida Viessmann. I would say that was a decent effort. Nothing special for Frida. I would say she is a real strong force on the larger hills. Not quite getting able to use those flight skills as well on the smaller ones. So she does not get any extra points for the gate compensation. And that moves her into 15th now. Good news for Nicole. Nicole is in. Emma Chervet next to qualify. But then Frida could be too far out. Hard to say. All right, moving on. She's slowly been finding her form this year. Took her a little bit, didn't start as strong as we expected, but she's grown into a very strong competitor, and I'm excited to see what she's going to do in these next few competitions, especially Sapporo. So a reminder, Annika Sief from Italy in first, Josephine Panier in second, and Kurumi Ichinoa still up there in third. Japanese athlete starting with bib number 6. No World Cup points yet this year, but she's in for quite a few if she has another good jump in the second round. In the meanwhile, Upset still waiting on the bar. Oh, and at 60 seconds, the light goes green. That is a test. Here we go. Celia Upset. And you know, there's quite a mental game there. This is actually this happened quite a few times this year, where they've waited to the very last second to change the light. There it was nearly 60 seconds, which at that point turns red. You have to get off the bar. But I think Upset then felt a little rushed, and you could see that in her takeoff. a 78.5 meters into 15th. So that moves Chervet in. 2 French women qualified for the final round. That's the first time we've seen that this year, and that is really, really great. All right, next to come, here comes Jenny Rautenaho to beat 95 meters. What is she going to show us? Smooth jump. And then kind of playing with the wind out there a little bit. You saw some movement with her skis, making some adjustments. 82 meters. That also could put her a bit out. Ooh, into 19th, and that's good news for the next 2 because they were actually tied. So with that one jump, both Sina Arnett and Maja Kovacic are moving into the final. All right, this athlete has been showing us really strong jumps. Relatively newcomer as far as Japan's concerned, obviously with legends like Yuki Ito and Sara Takanashi. They've had the team dialed for quite some time. But Ringo joining the action and doing really well so far this season. Red light and off the bar. Atsuko Tanaka up there, not only the starter but also the blanket control. And I think for the athletes it's really nice to have a comforting voice up there, someone to make sure that they, I guess, stay on track but also are able to stay as warm as possible. Right, here we go. She's back on the bar now and ready to go to beat 97 meters. Conditions seem to be good. Love to see a little light headwind. None of these swirling conditions. That would be great. Green light. Okay, here we go. Okay. Here she comes from Japan, Ringo Miyajima. Smooth. Not quite getting as much out of it as I expected, and you can see her reaction is quite the same. 80.5 meters. You might be wondering what she's doing right off the gate. I think that's an exercise to try to shift her balance forward while she gains speed and making sure she's able to stay over her foot through the radius. And the balance, I feel like, is the most defining factor in ski jumping. But Ringo giving a wave to the crowd. She moves into 17th place, which we'll have to wait for one more athlete to see who's going to qualify next, of course, because of that tie. From one Japanese to another. Of course, this is the one of the favorites on the team. 31 years old. So, quite experienced. Both her and Julia Kikkonen for that 94 birth year. Great year, I would say. Julia actually sitting in 10th right now, so that's great for her. Yuki now back off the bar. But look at that, to beat 75 meters. So that means straight tailwind. So better to move off the bar than to have to deal with that. Next athletes. Juliana Seif. Oh, actually, I'm not seeing Irene Kvondal, who should be after Yuki Ito, so that would be good news for Celia Upset to qualify automatically. But let's just hold off. Let's hold off and wait and see what happens. Again, we'd just like to thank the fans today for continuing to persevere. It's been a long day at the hill in Zhao, and we're so glad to have you here with us. And Yeah, I think it'll be worth the wait, so do stick around.
再開します。ビブナンバー35、伊藤有希。
Here we go. Green light and on the hill now to beat 91 meters. That's more like it. Here comes Yuki Ito. Ito with the height, and she loves this hill. Great jump for Yuki. She's struggled to qualify, struggled to make it into that top 30, but now she made a statement. 92 meters, and definitely encouraged by the fans who showed up here in Zhao to cheer on the whole field, but of course a little bit extra for the Japanese team. Coach is satisfied there, and let's get a smile from Yuki. Yuki into the lead. And I think she's happy with that. So Yuki ahead of Annika Sief, ahead of Josephine Panier, currently your top 3. And as I said, we're not going to see Irene Maria Kvandal, and instead moving on to Juliana Seifert. So with that, Celia Upseth qualified, and Frida Viessmann now waiting in the wings. 1, 2, 3, 4. Josie Johnson 4 out from qualifying. So I guess anything can still happen, and based on what we saw in the training round from some of our best athletes, you never know. All right, here we go. Juliana Seifert from Germany. Solid jump for Juliana. Distance of 81 meters. -5 points of wind compensation. Strong style marks late on the timing. She's so quiet in the air though. Really effective flyer. Juliana moves into 19th. So with that, Frida Viessmann into the second round. Juliana still has to wait. That's a little bit of a shock. Ringo Miyajima now the next to qualify. Back to the top now. This is Japan's Yuka Sato.
チームジャパン登場です。ビブナンバー38、瀬戸優香、日本。
Here we go from Japan, Yuka Sato. Making some adjustment, but she has some height. A good-looking jump for Sato, 87 meters. Now I want you to take a look at her in-run. It's looking much more compact than usual. She was able to use that spring action out of that position. And of course we saw some adjustments out there in the air. She'll work to improve that in the final round, but a very solid jump for Sato puts her into 6th place.
ビブナンバー39、ユリア・ミュルバッハー、オーストリア。
Wave number 49, Julia Milbacher, Austria.
All right, here we go. Next up from Austria, Julia Mühlbacher. Julia also moving around in the air. We saw her so close to getting on the podium, so she is jumping at quite a high level right now, but I don't think that was her best effort. She had a little bit of tailwind to add on top of that. Moves her into 4th. But let me tell you guys, we have Josephine Panier in 3rd right now, and Kurumi Ichinoue in 5th, and Anna Holland in 6th. So we're seeing quite a bit of shakeup. Paige Jones currently in 11th. So that'll put her in a good spot for the second round. All right, next to come to beat 92.5, here comes the Norwegian Heidi Dira Trosserud. Much better jump. There we go. Great effort for the Norwegian. We'll skip the landing and the style part, but the distance and the flight were fantastic. And as you know, especially when you're talking about the fight for the top spot, you don't need that. 14.5 really hurts. Anyway, Heidi into 4th place. Long jump of the first round.
Slovenia.
Here we go. Next challenger. This is Nika Vodan from Slovenia. Vodan I'm really missing the connection with the skis out there in the air. Take a look at this replay. Takeoff seemed fine. There, she looked like she tried to close it, but then losing her skis. And yeah, in combination with that tailwind out there, that's tough. Nika Vodan into 9th place. Okay, we know she has tons of fans that have traveled to Zhao to cheer her on. She is a favorite and a legend in ski jumping, but especially a legend in ski jumping in Japan. Competing now in front of the home crowd in Zhao, Sarah Takanashi. Powerful takeoff and a lot of height. A decent jump for the Japanese. 87 meters. Better style marks, so that should put her in a good spot. Let's take a look at the wind compensation. So minus 8.2, that's going to put her further back than expected. Takanashi into 10th place. Her teammate Yuki Ito, though, still in the lead. So we are happy about that. Okay, here we go. Next to come, this is the German Agnes Reich. Strong takeoff, good rotation, and flying way down the hill. There we go. That is by far the best jump we've seen today. And it doesn't even matter what kind of wind she had. That was so strong. Great looking jump. And I know wherever she is in the world, Lindsey Van is cheering for that. Agnes, one of her one to watch jumpers. There we go. Agnes Reich up there into the top spot, 11.6 points ahead of Yuki Ito. Jury, of course, reacting on that. Distance of 99. This is a hill size 102. But I would say that's probably good news for the next few athletes, because we're really, I mean, these are, of course, everybody's jumping in the World Cup is good, but these are, we're getting down to really the best in the world right now. And she just saw what her teammate did, and I know she's going to try to do the same. Here comes Katharina Schmidt from Germany. And a strong jump for Kata. Remember, coming from one gate lower, so she's going to get some gate compensation points, 3.5 plus points to be exact. And I am starting to see some new suits added to the repertoire. Of course, the athletes this year are not able to jump in as many suits as they want. So really being strategic about when to add new suits to the collection. Now, we missed her for the last few competitions, but I know she's been training hard and staying focused as ever. We heard from her ahead of the competition today. She's, of course, missing her teammate, Alexandria Lutit, but happy to be back on the World Cup, and we're excited to see what the Canadian will show us today. We know right now Nicole Maurer is in 19th, so let's see what the next Canadian can do. Here she comes, Abby Strait. Much better jump than that qualification round. I'm still missing the really nice smooth connection here. You can see waiting on her skis. Body continues, so it kind of catches up, but I think that she can do better, and she'll show us another step up in that final round. Giving us a smile, though. That's important. Germany currently in the top spot, and one more German to come. We are down to the last 5. So top 5 in the World Cup overall right now. Here we go from Germany, Selina Freitag. Solid jump, but nothing close to what we saw from Agnes. Distance of 88 meters. And then we know she gets the plus 3.5 for the gate compensation, minus 2.6 for wind. So I think that'll put her in a spot to try to go for the podium in the final round, but right now a little bit further back than she needs to be. Selina Freitag into 4th place. Top 3 remains the same. Agnes Reich, Yuki Ito, and Annika Sia. Here we go. Coming out of gate 26 from Norway, Anna Odina Strum. A lot of height, nice transition, and flying down towards that K point. Very, very solid effort from the Norwegian. Always a podium contender and so strong on the takeoff. Good style points from the judges. And that'll be enough for 2nd place, moving herself right between Agnes Reich and Yuki Ito. 8.3 backs from the lead. 3 to come. We're looking at them now. Lisa Eder, Nozomi Maruyama, and Nika Preutz. These have been the most common contenders for every podium this season. Here we go from Austria, Lisa Eder. Lisa with a lot more height and able to carry it down the hill towards that K point. A distance of 94.5, so half a meter short of K, but quite a solid effort from the Austrian. Now, I don't want to spoil it, but I'm seeing minus 12.6 points of wind compensation. So that, combined with the plus points for the gate, is that 9.1 minus points. And that's why, even with such a big jump, Lisa Eder is only in quotation marks, in 3rd. 2 athletes to come. Nozomi Maruyama returning to Japan after what was such a strong start and continuation of the season. Now 2nd in the overall and excited to jump on home snow. So remember, Lisa Eder had minus 12.6 wind points. So hopefully we are still going to have some of that headwind available for the last 2. Here she comes from Japan, Nozomi Maruyama. She has the height and she's flying away from the stadium. Look at that face. She's so happy with that distance, of course, regretting the lack of telemark, but it doesn't matter. That was a jump of 101 meters for Nozomi Maruyama. Here, just flying away from the hill. What a great effort. And, you know, if that's 101, I just can't even believe what 106 looks like. That's the hill record held by Sarah Takanashi. Nozomi Maruyama into the top spot. 1 athlete to go. And we did not change the gate. So still coming at a gate 26. Leader of the World Cup, Nika Preutz. Oh! And Nika opening the door. Now, that was a shocker if you ask me. 87.5 meters. Again, she's only 20 years old, so while some of these athletes have much more experience going back and forth to different hills, different countries, different time zones, it seems Nika Preutz is a little out of sorts today. 87.5 meters, that will put her into 12th place. But if we know one thing, Nika is always a contender, and we know we're going to see a strong 2nd round from her. Here, of course, you see Nozomi Maruyama gathering high fives and congratulations from the crowd. She is your leader after round 1. Now, I assume we're going to see the replays now of the top 3 jumps. but I'll remind you who that is nonetheless. Nozomi Maruyama, Agnes Reich, Anna Udina Strum, Lisa Ader in 4th, and Yuki Ito in 5th, Annika Sief in 6th, Josephine Panier in 8th. All right, I'll let you read for yourself, but I'm very excited. Some new names up there in the rankings, and it'll be an exciting second round. So I'm glad we stuck around. And Kurumi Ichinoa in 14th. Great. Clara Ulrichova in a strong 19th. Paige Jones qualified in 22nd. And there, despite the tie for 29th, we are only seeing 30 in the final round. So everybody is guaranteed at least one World Cup point. And there you see the 2 DNS, Annika Belshaw. We are excited to have her back with us tomorrow and hope she'll be feeling better by then. So I should have a start time for you shortly. So it looks like, I'm just going to say 42 past the hour. So the 7:42 local time. So yeah, going into the early hours of the night, but enjoying the top 3 jumps so far. Again, Nozomi Maruyama. She'll be looking to clean up that landing, but a beautiful jump there for her here in Zhao. This has been Nina Lucy with you here for the first round of World Cup competition in Zhao, Japan, part of the Viessmann FIS Ski Jumping World Cup. Second round is set to start at 7:42 p.m. local time, so 42 past the hour wherever you are. North Americans, I hope you have managed to stay awake for this, because we have quite a show for you coming up in the final round. So see you back here shortly, and thanks for joining me so far today.
以下プレブツ選手は10人。おっと丸山のぞみ。
Am Eck weggesprungen, aber ich wollte gar nicht wegspringen. Weil ich einfach nur einen Freudensprung gemacht habe, aber nicht
All right, everybody, I would like to welcome you back to Zhao, Japan, moments away from the second and final round of the Viessmann FIS Ski Jumping World Cup. Now, the first round, we saw a lot of action, a lot of jumps all across the hill. Some big surprises were Nika Preutz a bit further back than expected, Annika Sief up there, and Nozomi Maruyama back in the top spot. Now looking to see our first competitor, Frida Viessmann, getting out onto the bar now, and we're looking at no coach's request, so she is going from the jury-appointed starting position, which is gate 27. And here we go, ready to start the second round, Frida Viessmann. Much better jump for Viessmann. That's more like it. We wanted to see that in the first round too. That was a distance of 87 meters, plus 1 point of wind compensation, so not much wind to speak of. And that will, of course, be your current leader. And the exciting thing is we don't have to wait long for another big name. Great to see Viessmann back in good form and at the top of the hill now. We move from Sweden to Norway.
Favorite 42, Celia Offset, Norway.
All right, so Upset is off the bar. Remember in the first round, she was the one that got all the way up to almost 60 seconds, so 59 and a half, then got the green light. So this time, she was in the mid phase of the yellow light and was removed from the bar. And let's see what's going on out there. Upset in the meanwhile back out onto the bar. Now, we saw an improvement from Viessmann from first to second jump, and remember now they're finally getting the rhythm of the hill. They had one training jump followed by the first round of competition, and this is now their third jump on the hill since last year. So not a lot of time to adjust. Usually you have you know, the training and the qualification, and then a whole day to wait and to think about what you want to do, and a lot more time to refocus. Today, however, everything kind of squashed into one day and some major delays, causing this to be a long night at the hill. So remember, it's probably close to 8 p.m. local time. And Christian Meyer giving the signal. It's time to get back off the bar again for upset. Mariama, of course, will be the last to jump today in the second round. She had a great first round jump. Improvements for her will probably just be fly out a little longer and set that telemark if you can. So not much to improve there. Shiga Yoshida, their race director, is running around. I'm not sure what she's up to. And this is the bottom of the funicular that takes the athletes, let's see if we can see the tracks, takes the athletes alongside Jumping Hill up to the warming hut. And there you can see the track there. So it stops for the coaches get out, and you continue on. Meanwhile, as we have had time to discuss all this, Celia Upset's still up there, basically ready to go at any moment. This is tough. I'm looking at that middle of the hill, seeing 5+ meters per second of headwind, or crosswind rather. That is not fun. Here we go. On the hill now from Norway, Celia Upset. Her patience has been tested today, and a very solid jump for the Norwegian athlete. Improvement on the first round. That was an 82.5 meter leap for Celia.
82.5 meters.
And the thing is, from Zhao, so now they have to take, once the competition's complete, they have to get back on the tour bus, travel almost, I feel like almost an hour back to Yamagata City, and yeah, I would say this is a rough start of the Japanese tour, but these are professionals and they're doing everything in their power to stay focused. And, you know, at this point you can't really be relying on that jet lag, because remember, they're coming from China, so they've been in Asia now for a little bit. We're seeing Yuri Tepish there on the coach's stand, holding the flag. Upset had minus 4.2 points of wind compensation, so hopefully a little headwind to be had. Let's see if she can find it from Slovenia, Maja Kovačić. Better jump, but remember, Frida Viessmann showed us that beautiful opening jump of 87 meters, so that matched the distance now of Upset at 82.5. Exactly the same wind compensation points, minus 4.2. And only half a point less from the judges. So Maja moving into third place. Frida Viessmann still in the lead.
Remember, 26, Sina Arnold, Switzerland.
You see her breathing, staying focused, but That's the red light, so she's going to have to get back off the bar now.
シグナルが赤になりました。シグナルレッ
Signal red.
ド。一旦ゲートから始めます。
Looking over there, we're seeing Atsuko Tanaka from Canada offering blankets. I think her official position is starter, but she's doing a lot more than that today. 6 meters per second of wind on the hill. This could be a long, drawn-out second round. But I do want to have a second round. We saw a lot of great action there in the first round, and it's always, I feel like, too bad not to have 2 jumps, especially with variable conditions, because usually after 2 jumps, it should even out a little bit, make it a little bit more fair. Some new names in the points, though. Emma Chervais and Kurumi Ichinoe, 2 athletes who are pretty standard in the qualifying for the competition, but have not been able to crack through as far as World Cup points are concerned. Now, Sina Arnett is looking pretty cold up there. She's the lone athlete from Switzerland. Curious to see how she's handling life on the road. I think for most of the season, or most of the competitions in Central Europe, there were a few of her teammates would come along, so there was sometimes 4 Swiss athletes, sometimes 2. But now in Japan, she's all on her own. And usually these smaller nations kind of band together. You have some new people to talk to during the meals. Otherwise, it does get a little dull. But anyway, let's focus now. Back to the hill, back to the second round of World Cup competition in Zhao, Japan. Dealing with a lot of wind. I'm reading a lot of frustration there from the Swiss coach. Oh, and the light's green, and she got a flag right away, so that means hopefully there's something good out there. Here she comes from Switzerland, Sina Arnett. Solid jump, 1 meter improvement on her first round effort. Ooh, but plus 7.9 points of wind compensation. So despite the quick flag, unfortunately she was facing some tailwind, and that made it that much more challenging for her. That said, Arnett goes into second place for now, 9.3 points behind Frida Viessmann, your current leader. That brings us to the first of 2 French athletes in the final round. Exciting to see this, and a historic day for Team France. Here comes Emma Chervais. Aggressive again, ooh, but not quite finding the leap that she did on the first jump. 81 meters in the first round, that was 72 and a half.
72.5 meters.
But the good news is, you kind of better off having the good jump in the first round to get you through to the points. That moves Emma Chervais into 5th. And there you see Frida Viessmann still in the lead. But I'm hoping this next athlete can challenge. Team Canada Power, we have Atsuko Tanaka at the start gate and Nicole Maurer on the bar. They have great history at this hill. Silver medal in the team. And here she comes, Nicole Maurer. Lot of height. Solid jump for Nicole. So that was a distance of 81 meters.
81 meters.
A little pre-compression there. Should be able to clean that up for tomorrow. And a solid telemark. Her mom is going to be happy about that. And Nicole, good enough for second place, so that's good enough for her. Frida Viessmann there, up 5, so really strong second round for Frida. Now here's another low bib number, so we're excited to see her in the second round. The veteran of the Finnish team. Here comes Julia Kikkonen. Very aggressive and a lot of redirection in the air. 78 meters for Julia. So I would say that's not enough to contend for the top 2 spots. And depending what goes on with the wind, let's see where that puts Julia. And Julia moving down into 6th place. So unfortunately back 5 spots already from the first round. But hey, she's back on track. Next to come, this is Anna Twardosz from Poland. 82.5 meters in the first round. Let's see what she can do now. Nice aggressive angle. But remember, Frida Viessmann, your current leader, we're used to seeing her starting from a lower gate. So now she jumped from the same starting position as the rest of the field. It's kind of what's seeing her a little bit out ahead. So there we go. Twardosz, that was enough for 2nd place. Still 7 points back from Frida. So current top 3, we have Frida Viessmann, Anna Twardosz, and Nicole Maurer from Canada. From Canada, now we are moving to the US. Our sole American contender in the final round. Let's see what she can do now. Paige Jones. Ooh, nice jump for Jones. Right, delivering when it matters. Great effort there. Now watch this. So strong takeoff, we're used to that. Getting this rotation, flying way over her skis, and bang. Nice jump for Paige Jones there. 90 meters and into the top spot. It was worth the wait, worth the suffering through the long day. Great result for the American. From America, we're moving now back to Japan, to the host nation today. Yuzuki Sato right now on the bar. She has the green, and here she comes. The 18-year-old from Japan, Yuzuki Sato. Solid effort, but remember, Paige had a distance of 90 meters, so that was not even close. 79.5 for Yuzuki. I think we're going to see Paige and Frida, currently 1-2, continue the progression forward on the results list. Yuzuki into 6th place, right behind Sina Arnett. All right, so we're going to see a trial jumper before we continue with the top 20 after the first round. Top 3 for now. Oh, there we go. You can see the full list for yourself. Look at the point differentials, and we know that 1-2 are quite a bit ahead of the rest. So really excited to see that, Paige Jones and Frida Viessmann. And look at this, another chance to enjoy Paige's jump. Big smiles from Paige and a hello to the fans back home. I think all around the world we are cheering for her. And after the trial jumper, we're going to continue now with the top 20 after the first round. Here we go. She has the green light and she's on the hill from Slovenia, Katra Komar. Quick to the flight, aggressive flight position. Now that is a contender. 88 meters for Katra Komar. Oh, but again, -9 points of wind compensation. Like I said, usually it evens out, but in the first round she had -18.2, second round -9. So Katra Komar did something well to receive 2 times great condition. But hey, it's enough for second place for now. 1.5 points behind Jones.
12番ビブナンバー22クララ・ウルリッコバチェコ
All right, next to come, this is Klara Ulrichova. We saw her pull out of the competition in China. Then we saw her still struggling a little with the right ski, but managing to have a great first round jump. Of course, breaking into the top 20 now is great.
シグナルが赤になりました。シグナルレッド。一旦ゲートから外れます。
Klara now off the bar again, having a chance to warm up. And I mean, look at these big names right in the middle of the pack. Sarah Takanashi, Nika Krishnar. I mean, we're not used to seeing them quite so early in the round. And you can see by their faces they are ready to attack in the second round.
ここまでのトップはペイジ・ジョーンズ。アメリカ。トータルポイントが 172.3 ポイント。ウィンドクター
So current top 3, Paige Jones, Katja Komar, and Frida Viessmann. Now moving on to the bar, this will be
再開します。
continuing us into the top 20 now.
22クララ・ウルリコバチェコ
Bib number 22, Kulala Ulrikova, Czech Republic.
Now, patience definitely plays a role on days like today. You know you're ready. All you want to do is jump, get a chance at redemption, get a chance to have a strong second round. But a lot of it is out of your control as the athlete on the bar. All you can do is sit and wait. Make sure that you wait through the 60 seconds. Remember, we saw that last minute light change for Celia Upset before. Here you can see the coaches are very careful about that now.
シグナルレッド
Ulrichova now off the bar again.
ゲートから外れます。
The blanket is back. You can see the athletes bundled up down there. Anna Ruprecht with a strong first round jump, so hopefully she can redo that. And then next three to come are Ulrichova, Takanashi, and Bodan.
高梨沙羅選手
Looking at the wind graphic, it is all red, so that means everything is out of the
そ
corridor.
してチームジャパン瀬戸優香選手と続いていきます。
Again, it's part of luck and good timing in order to get the best conditions. Of course, the jury's doing their best to make sure that we do have a fair competition. But I know that, you know, people are getting tired. 6 meters per second. Oh, that's not helpful. Athletes in the warming. Oh, here we go. Katarina Schmidt there, untying her boots. That's when you know it's going to be a long day. You think you're ready to go? No, we'll restart. Okay, another chance now for Klara Ulrichova. Moving out onto the bar, having a chance to refocus. And here, oh, light is already green. Okay. So that was a quick transition now. Now we wish her the best on this jump. 89 meters in the first round. Let's see what she can do now. Solid jump, solid jump. I think today was a good competition for Ulrichova. You can still see slight pause in the dynamic movement there. But she stayed right out over her skis and made the most of it. And I would say that's a good day for her. Into fourth place for Ulrichova. Paige Jones continuing the trek upward, 3 spots up from the first round already, and Frida Viessmann 9 spots up from the first round. However, we have 2 big challengers coming up next. First to come will be the Japanese legend. Drawing on the energy from the first round, here she comes, Sara Takanashi. And a solid jump and a solid telemark. 91 meters, the longest jump of the second round, but she made it look effortless. She'll be rewarded by good points from the judges, 50.5 for her. Still not the cleanest takeoff we've seen from Takanashi. All right, so Sarah waving to the fans and giving us a big smile, so she's happy despite not being able to fight for a podium today. And what a transition, Jones leaving the box to Sara Takanashi. So 8.8 points between first and second now, with another big challenger on the bar. The light is green, and here she comes from Slovenia, Nika Vodan. Oh! I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, she says she doesn't know either. Let's rewatch this. This looked like a smooth, but here it felt like her hips were pushing through, her back kind of hollowed out, and it's not the most effective flying we've seen from Vodan. Okay. Thank you and good night. Vodan into second, Takanashi still in the lead. Japan currently in first place, and next to come is Yuka Sato. Looks like there's some headwind, and hopefully she'll be able to use that. 92 meters is the to beat distance. We saw 91 from Takanashi. What is Yuka Sato going to show us now? Solid jump, not quite the 90-meter zone. That was a distance of 88 meters for Sato. Her teammates out there ready to congratulate her. Sara Takanashi leaving her post in the winner's box. Late on the timing and struggling to make the most of it. And into second place for Sato, so Takanashi remains in the lead. Great first round for the German. She really showed us what she was made of in Lubno. We've been waiting for her. Very experienced, very successful athlete in her own right. And here she comes. Heinz Kutin with the flag, and here comes Anna Holland from Germany. 87 meters in the first round, and a solid second round jump for the German. Much less help from the wind on that one, 82.5 meters. So it'll see her falling back a little bit, but still a very, very solid result for the German. You can see a little bit of weight on the back of her right ski. And she's happy with that. Good result for Anna into sixth place. Okay, Sara Takanashi in the lead, but look at this. Bib number 6, no World Cup points yet this year, and starting so late in the round. Let's see what she can do. And you can tell from the sounds at the bottom of the hill, Kurumi is a very popular jumper. She's only 20 years old, but she's had some really great international results and is really that next generation. Sara Takanashi explaining the wind conditions to us there. One flag's going left, one's going right. Let's see what she can do with it. The light is green and it's time to go. Here she comes from Japan, very strong in the first round, Kurumi Ichinoe. Not quite as good there. Distance of 80.5 for Kurumi. And remember, she's going to be happy with that. It was a big day for her, starting to re-rank herself within the Japanese team. Of course, Japan leading the Nations Cup, so literally the strongest team in the world right now. And we currently have Sarah Takanashi and Yuka Sato sitting in first and second. And Kurumi moving back into 8th place. All right, here we go. Next up is Julia Mühlbacher from Austria. I would say that was a much better jump, but remember, Mühlbacher was contending for a podium a few times this year. You're a little late on the timing, so once she gets the timing correct, finishes on time, and then gets the rotation for that second half of the flight, she'll be dangerous. Plus 4.9 points from the wind, so that is enough for first place. There you can see that exchange in the leader's box. Mühlbacher instead of Takanashi, but we are already on to Nika Preutz to beat 86 meters. Now, she knows what she has to do, and hopefully she's able to just calm down and show us a good performance. Here she comes, Nika Preutz. A lot of hype flying out of the stadium. That was signature Nika. That is what we were waiting for. 102 meters. Now, speaking of spending time in the leader's box, we're going to see Preutz definitely gaining some spots after that beautiful jump from her. Minus 7.8 wind compensation, so a little bit of headwind. But that feels good, especially after that struggle on the first jump, not finding the rhythm of the hill. And she's smiling, so she's up there in the lead now. Of course, she's used to jumping very close to the end of the round, so with, I think, more than 10 athletes to go, I'm curious to see how far she can climb. And we know that the next athlete is going to contend with that 86.5 in the first round to beat 96.5 meters. Here comes the Canadian Abigail Strait. Still not really quite the jump we're looking for. You can see a little frustration in her body language.
Eddie Colton, 5 meters.
And still a little hesitation. Kind of felt like the skis and body weren't quite working together. But hey, another chance tomorrow. Hopefully a fresh start into third now for Strait. Of course, here we go. 10 athletes to go now. Here are the results after the first 20. Paige Jones guaranteed us 17th place today, so we love that. Kurumi 21st, also a great accomplishment. And great to see Emma Chervet in the points. There, of course, is your current leader with that 102-meter jump. Beautiful effort by her. But remember, she's got a lot of ground to make up. So Nika Preutz will be enjoying some time in the leader's box. Her work today is done. And now it's time for the top 10. Now remember to keep an eye on the point differentials. That will make a difference when we get down to business. But Josephine Panier, Annika Sief, 2 names, Yuki Ito, 3 names we're not that used to having in the top 10. But we are so happy to welcome them into this battle. And of course, your leader after the first round. First and second place, very close. So stick around because it's going to be a thrilling showdown as we move into the top 10.
56.5 meters.
さあ、ファーストラウンドのトップ10が登場します。21番、ビブナンバー40、ハイリーデー・トゥーセン、ノーウェイ。
Game number 40, Heidi Gill Tolson, Norway.
All right, here we go. It's time to kick off the top 10. And bringing us into it is Heidi Dira Trosserud from Norway. Oof. A lot of adjustments there in the air. That did not look to be a smooth flight for the Norwegian. 88 meters, minus 5 points for wind compensation. There you can see kind of stuck on the left ski, then moving back into the center. And there we're seeing Heidi moving back a few spots, but happy nonetheless.
22番、ビブナンバー44、カタリナ・シュミット、ドイツ。
Game number
All right, next athlete has been gaining momentum, probably has quite a few fans in the crowd today. In Zhao, she's been on the World Cup for quite some time now and always one to watch. And a great competitor. So Nika Peretz just moved herself into guaranteed top 10 position, but let's see how far she can take it. As you can see now, to be 100 meters, well, it's changing now, but that means that conditions are favorable. We know Kata Schmidt can fly far, and usually we can count on her for that solid telemark and the good style points. Okay, light is red. Moving off the bar, she'll have to wait.
一旦ゲートから外れます。
30人が飛びますファイナルラウンド、ここで21人が飛んで、トップはやはり日本できましたニカ・プレベツ。
We're still here, we're still staying calm, but remember, we are into the top 10 now, so it is important. Every jump counts, and this will be important as we move our way
22番、ビブナンバー
along in the
44、
season.
カタリナ・シュミット、ドイツ。
Game number 44,
She's been on the podium already this season.
Germany.
She'll be trying to get as close to it today. Here she comes from Germany, Katharina Schmidt. Ooh, no! Oh my gosh, that hurts. She's gonna be mad. I really want to see what's going. Obviously, win points aren't going to tell us anything. She was still full. She was still fully in her in run right at the end of the takeoff. Oh no. Very sarcastic bow. Oof. Kata Schmidt down 20 spots. Life goes on. That's all we can say. From the top 10 to 29.
17.
All right, here we go. Let's see what she can do. This is important. We're looking at a great starting spot from the first round from France, Josephine Pagnier. Yes! 2 great jumps for Pagnier. That is so important. Look at that reaction. Oh, I'm really, really happy to see that. 94 meters for Pagnier. It might not be enough to take over the lead from Preutz, but for Pagnier to have 2 great jumps, especially after watching Schmidt just go 71.5, mental strength and Pagnier turning it on. We've been waiting for this all season, and I'm so glad she got 2 good jumps together today. Yay. into the top 10 for Panier. Great result for the French woman. Nika Pratt still in the lead. All right, we still have 2 more Germans. So we had 3 top 10. Left now are Selina Freitag and Agnes Reich. Agnes in second after the first round. The light is green. Let's see what the next German can show us. Here she comes, Selina Freitag. Good takeoff, great extension. Beautiful jump and telemark for the German. That will be enough to dethrone Nika Pratt. And she's shaking her head. I'm not sure what that's about, but very glad. Look at this part. Gets the rotation, starts taking off right here in the middle of the hill. And sets the telemark without an issue. Double fist pump from Heinz Kutin. That's important. Here we go into first place. 0.2 points ahead of Preutz. And you can see Preutz was hoping to climb her way to the podium. But Selina Freitag said, not today. All right, let's look at who we have left. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to come. So we're still not really quite ready to be talking about podiums, although I'm getting very excited about it and excited about these next 2 athletes. They're starting much later in the round than we're accustomed to. Obviously still very good and very consistent competitors. Let's see what she can do now. Here comes the Italian Annika Sief. Decent effort, but not enough to keep on holding on to that spot from the first round. CF coming down at 77 meters.
77 meters.
Also late on the timing, plus some tailwind, so plus 3.8 points of wind compensation. That's too bad. Down to 9th. Not the jump she was hoping for. Freitag, on the other hand, very pleased with her effort, and she's still in the lead. Now let's see what's going on at the top. All right, here we go. The team is down at the bottom. They are cheering for. I don't know if I can call her their leader, but she's definitely the stable force, the glue of the Japanese team. And we are so excited to see her, especially after that first jump. Okay. We'll let her go. Come on. Light is green, and here she comes. 92 meters in the first round. Let's see what she can do. Yuki Ito. Also, just like we saw from CF, coming down before 80 meters. 79.5 for Ito. Plus 1.6 points. Again, we've had competitions where she failed to make the top 30, so to see her this strong after the first round, we were definitely excited for Ito, but I'm not sure that jump was the one. Ito into 7th place nonetheless, giving a wave to her fans, and we will see her again tomorrow. So Freitag still in first, Preutz in second, and Panier from France in third. Alright, she's looking focused. She had some headwind in the first round. It's been a long day at the hill. Light is red, off the bar now.
シグナルレッド。一旦ゲートから外れます。
Okay. We are nearing the end of the round. We have 4 athletes left. We are talking about a podium. Selina Freitag currently in the lead, Nika Preutz in second, and Josephine Panier in third. 4 athletes to go.
その差は 0.2
Curious to see how this plays out. Remember, Agnes and Nozomi very close in points. But what we've seen today, I mean, we've seen 10 meters shorter, we've seen 20 meters shorter, so anything can really happen. Takes 2 strong jumps. Let's see what our next challenger is going to show us now. Will it be enough for a podium, or will she end the day further back? All right, we're seeing to be 87.5, 88.5. Conditions seem to be improving. Let's see what the Austrian can show us. Here she comes, Lisa Ader. Nice looking jump for Lisa over the green line. So that is a claim for a podium spot. Selina Freitag, of course, looking on nervously. 93.5 for Ader. She'll be pleased with that. Only minus 2.8 points of wind compensation. So much more calm conditions than she had in the first round. Will it be enough for the lead? Points are coming in. And there we go, plus 1.3. So 1.3 points ahead of Freitag. Puts her in first, but remember 3 athletes to go, so we are not ready to claim a podium. 3 athletes at the top: Anna Odina Strum, Agnes Reich, and Nozomi Maruyama. Okay. After this jump, we're going to know who's guaranteed a place on the podium. Here comes your next challenger from Norway, Anna Odina Strum. Good takeoff, nice height, carrying it down the hill. That looks to be a spot on the podium. Minus 9 points of wind compensation, though. All right. 17.5, 17 from the judges. Really strong style marks. Oh my! And look at how close it is. That wind compensation made the difference. Lisa Ader on the podium and Anna Odina Strum surprisingly into 4th. You can see the athletes themselves are surprised. But I don't think Lisa's going to be complaining about that. 2 athletes to come. Now, the light is green. Here she comes. Let's see what she can do from Germany, Agnes Reich. Direct jump. Ooh, 86.5. Remember, 99 in the first round. She wanted to do that again. Selina Freitag currently in second. Oh, she's frustrated.
86.5 meters.
86.5 meters. I mean, we saw how close it was. We saw Anna Odina Strum tumbling back there in the rankings. And Agnes Reich also off of the podium. Lisa Ader and Selina Freitag at least silver and bronze today, with 1 left to come. Preutz down there, she thinks she's now at a podium. But remember, we have 1 athlete to come. We are in Japan, and she is Japanese. Here comes Nozomi Maruyama. Oh, another good jump. Great effort for Nozomi. And sorry, Nika, but today it's all about Nozomi. on the top spot, making those claims right away. Plus 2.4 points of win compensation. Nozomi Maruyama in Japan. Effort there. The whole team is out there in the landing hill, ready to watch the scores come in. Let's just enjoy this jump from Nozomi. Such a clean transition over her skis. Solid telemark. That feels good. A win at home is even sweeter. And a huge celebration for the Japanese team. Although it was pretty clear, if I might say so myself, 15.4 points ahead of second place. And back on the top spot, Nozomi Maruyama. What a day here in Zhao. Nika Preutz into fourth. Doesn't look too happy about that. Lisa Ader in second, and Selina Freitag up 4 spots and into third place. Abby Strait from Canada ending the day in 9th. Josephine Panier, a season's best 6th place tie with Agnes Reich. And I'll wait for the whole result list to show up here for you. But what a day, what an exciting competition it's been in Zhao. Congratulations to today's winners, and exciting to see some new names in the World Cup point. Here are the results from today's competition. First place Nozomi Maruyama, second place Lisa Ader, and third place Selina Freitag. Nika Preutz off the podium. So we're going to have the quick prize giving ceremony here, and then move along to the official prize giving ceremony after the equipment control. But here's a chance to enjoy another jump from Nozomi Maruyama, today's winner. Here we go. Top 3 from today's World Cup. This has been the Viessmann FIS Ski Jumping World Cup in Zhao, Japan. In third place, Germany's Selina Freitag.
Lisa Ader from Austria.
In second place from Austria, Lisa Ader.
And the first place, Nozomi Maruyama, Japan.
And today's winner from Japan, Nozomi Maruyama. Big congratulations to today's podium after such a long day at the hill. They did incredible. And of course, the equipment control pending. And I'm sure the athletes are excited to put their equipment away and go home refreshed for another competition tomorrow. I hope to see you back here at the hill. It's been a great experience despite the delays and the long waits. Nice to see another strong podium today. There you have today's winner, once again, Nozomi Maruyama. Nozomi will be looking to get a few points back on that lead that Nika Preuss has over her in the World Cup rankings. Of course, Maruyama leaving out Lubno, so not contending, missing a few points there. But again, it all seems to be paying off.
飾ってくれました。ビッグジャンプ丸山希選手。またまた表彰台の一番高いところに立ちます。並みいる海外の強豪を抑えてこの座王で見事です。
Here we go, another chance to enjoy your top 3 finishers today. Up 4 spots from the first round in an incredible second round jump, Selina Freitag.
セリーナ・フライタークの飛距離は97メーター50。27番、リサエラ、オーストリア。
Equipment control pending, and then we'll be right into the podium ceremony. There you can see Nozomi Maruyama still 310 points back from first place Nika Preuss in the overall. But exciting to see the shifts going on there in the top 11 you can see on your screen now. Now you know she was under a lot of pressure there. That's Nika Preuss, much stronger second round jump for her. Coming down at 102 meters. Remember, hill record is still down at 106. So that was a jump right to hill size, which is basically, I think, the best she could do, but unfortunately not quite enough for the podium, 0.2 points behind Selina Freitag. So again, stick around for the official prize giving ceremony that will happen shortly in the outrun of the hill here in Zhao. It's been a great day of ski jumping, although a bit longer than expected here in Zhao, Japan, part of the Viessmann FIS Ski Jumping World Cup Tour. We just touched down in Japan after 2 competitions in China. The Olympic qualification period has now ended. So the official team namings will be happening all across the world in the next few days. And then we have another competition in Zhao tomorrow, 2 more World Cups in Sapporo, and then back to Germany all before the Winter Olympics in Predazzo. Val di Fiemme host of the World Championships and now the Olympic venue host. Remember, they had a competition there in the summer, but after that, they did a few more hill renovations. So relatively new hill. No one gets that home field advantage. No one got that extra training time. But as I go through the results, I do realize we are missing the try today. So wondering what their strategy is. They're taking the time to optimize their equipment, or perhaps we'll just be leaving out Zhao and joining us again in Sapporo. Not sure. Anyway, victory ceremony coming up. Big congratulations to today's winner right there on your screen, Nozomi Maruyama. Hopefully she's not trying to pack up and go home because we still need her for the podium ceremony. She seems to be making her way towards the exit gate. You need to go all the way around. There you go. So yeah, Olympics happening after Villingen. So one more competition, Zhao, Sapporo, Villingen, and then the Olympics before continuing on Hinsen, Balchlati, Oslo, Vickerson, and then should be one more page with Planica. All right, athletes look to be gathered. Chico Yoshida out there directing the business here, race director, and the athletes helping each other out, making sure that sponsors are visible, and we are good to go. Of course, impressive effort from Selina Freitag up 4 spots and Lisa Ader up 2 spots, both off of the podium after the first round.
ただいまから FIS 女子スキージャンプワールドカップ2026蔵王大会個人戦の表彰式を行います。
Hello everyone. We will begin the award ceremony of the individual competition of FIS Ski Jumping World Cup Men's 2026.
入賞者をご紹介いたしましょう。
We will announce the winners.
The third place, Celine Freitag from Germany.
Welcome to the awards ceremony, part of the Viessmann FIS Ski Jumping World Cup for the first World Cup competition in Zhao, Japan. In third place, Selina Freitag from Germany.
Congratulations!
And in second place today from Austria, Lisa Ader.
The winner is Nozomi Maruyama, Japan.
And today's champion from Japan, Nozomi Maruyama.
今季6勝目。ここ座を制しました。入賞された選手に実行委員会会長佐藤貴弘山形市長から賞金が贈られます。
Prize money will be presented by Takahiro Sato, Mayor of Yamagata City, and the president of this competition.
どうぞ大きな拍手をお送りください。 改めて3選手に盛大な拍手を皆さんお送りください。
Big congratulations to today's podium and looking forward to hearing the winner's national anthem.
花笠が贈られます。この花笠は毎年8月に山形市で開催されます花笠祭りで使われるものです。おめでとうございます。今一度大きな拍手を皆さんお送りください。それでは丸山希選手の優勝の栄誉をたたえ国歌の演奏を行います。国旗掲揚台にご注目ください。選手、役員、観客の皆さんは脱帽を願います。
The awesome of Japan will be parade in honor of Nozomi Maruyama. Everyone, please take off your hat.
日本、丸山希選手、おめでとうございました。それでは、これよりフォトセッションの時間といたします。レースの方々、よろしくお願いいたします。
Now it's time for photo session.
So a big congratulations to today's podium in Zhao, Japan. Nozomi Maruyama, Lisa Ader, and Selina Freitag. As they take the final photos to commemorate this moment, I would like to sign off and thank you all for sticking it out through a very long day here in Zhao. This is the first day of competition in Japan, and we're excited for 3 more to come. So looking forward to seeing you back at the hill tomorrow. This has been Nina Lucy with you here today. See you tomorrow.